Welcome back to the VR Workshop. In this episode, we're finishing up the engine so Priscilla can get our heart back. The next side is fairly easy. Luckily in the past me cleaned all this up, so future me, right now, saved some time. So we'll throw some sealant on the faces here and we'll pop this on. In true YouTube fashion, the battery died as it was fitting the cover, but you didn't miss much. The cover's on, all new stainless steel bolts around it because all the old ones were a bit nasty and furry. But it's done, center cover's in with the new O-ring, that's all done as well. These will put the sprocket on before we turn around and go to timing belts. Now, there's a bush which goes on the inside, and there's a small O-ring which seals the inside of the shaft. And then the outside of the shaft is sealed around the lip seal there. So that squeezes on like that, and then you have a sprocket. We'll get a nut and a lock washer. Let's put the locking ring on there. And then the nut, which I remember being a 32. Do I have a socket and an impact? No. What do you know? Good enough. That's going to be enough to stop the nut turning, but just to make sure, we're going to lock wire it as well. Now, you may have noticed that the sprocket is all nice and shiny. It's because the original sprocket looked absolutely terrible, so it all got cadmium plated, along with a host of other stuff. It just got thrown in the same box and we did it all at the same time. Man. And for those who think this might be overkill, well, you've clearly never had a sprocket fall off before. it's time. It's time to fit the timing belts. So we're going to use the same timing belts that came off this engine. These didn't do much at all. They did all the dyno runs, which was what, 130. We did some runs up and down the drag strip, and we did 7 runs on the salt. So in essence, they're brand new. They just look a bit janky, but they will be fine. So the 998 engine's timing marks changed again from the 996 timing marks. The 996 timing marks had markings on the cam covers up the top and up the sides. The 998s, you're going to use a special tool for the top head, and you're supposed to use a special tool for the forward head, although the forward head marks are fairly easy. I marked the pulleys before we started, or before we took the old belts off, so we know roughly where we need to be. I don't have a special tool, and I will never have a special tool. So we're going to throw these belts on. We'll do a rotation by hand just to make sure everything's as it should be. Then we'll get the belt covers on, and then we can put the engine in. So let's get cracking with that. Timing belts. So the idler pulley is marked up with the marking in the casing. And we're going to start with the exhaust, with the marking there. And once that's on, we're going to then rotate the inlet using our specially made tool to rotate it around and slip the belt on. This is not going to go well, but as long as it goes, that's the main thing. So, keeping the exhaust side relatively tight. And then gonna, where's the mark? It's there. There we go. Just like that. Give this tensioner just a little tight for now. Now that I'm looking at this nut, we're going to change that as well, because that's terrible. Somebody needs to tackle that in the mole grips at some point, but mark, mark, mark. Ready for belt 2. Forward head is exactly the same procedure, with the only difference being that both exhaust and inlet cams are not in tension, which makes it far easier. So these ones, the little cam inlets, both these parts should be facing forwards, which as you go into the newer generation, that's exactly the same as well. So same thing, we'll slide the belt onto the idler. Through the pulleys. Through number 1. Oh, so close. Then we'll just give that a tighten as well. And that looks pretty good. Tensioning time. Now, the method of doing this is quite easy. We're going to pull at tension. You got to watch where you do it. If you would do that, they get pretty close. So if you do it towards the front of the bike, the pulley turns away and it gives you a bit of room in the belts. And let me do. And that is enough. Now, I'm sure you could go and watch lots of YouTube videos about telling you how you should have a certain amount of hertz and tension on the belt, or a 5mm gap at the top, or if you just do enough of them, it's enough. And this engine is not here to do 20,000 miles. It's here to do a couple of runs if the first one breaks. Let's move to the top head. So, same method, tensioner should go towards the top of the head. Good enough for me. Okay, that is all our belts done. Easy. One thing we need to do before we do anything else is turn it over by hand, just to make sure that the belts are in the right place, do a full rotation, valves aren't colliding with pistons, etc., etc. So I'm going to mark the belt in the same place, just so we have a reference, so a visual reference of a full turn. And actually, let's move this oil line out of my way. Using the idler, bearing in mind that this engine runs in a reverse rotation. We'll just slowly walk it round. Put all the timing marks back just to see where we are. So, forward head cam's in the right position. The top head cams are also in the right position. We're good to go. Let's get the cut belt covers on. Then we get the engine in. Well, progress. Priscilla has her heart back. The engine may be in, but we're far from finished. We've still got to get all the coolant lines back together again. Got to get the throttle bodies back on, the airbox back on, fueling, hook up all the sensors, intercooler, turbo, exhaust. Probably a good idea to put a swing arm in there, the new wheel, a shock absorber. Lots of stuff yet to do before we can get this in a dyno, but we're getting close. I'm going to try and see how much work we can get done this week, because after that we're heading off to Australia. We're going to be racing at the Fink Rally, which is a 2-day off-road event which runs out of Alice Springs. So that's going to impact, we're there for 2 weeks, it's going to impact a bit of work here, but we will take the camera and we're going to do some video stuff out there. Steve Blatney's going to be racing, I'm going to be pointing and drinking beer, maybe twiddling a spanner or two, we'll see how it goes, but that'll be fun. Thanks again for your comments and your suggestions on the videos. If you do enjoy what you're seeing, click the subscribe button, hit a like on the video, it does help us, and trying to figure out this YouTube algorithm, it's rather confusing. But until the next time.